What's going on, everybody? Liam here, Everything NYJ, bringing you some more Jets content on a rainy Monday night. So, earlier today, I recapped Robert Saleh's press conference at the owners' meeting. If you didn't check that video out, go ahead and do so. It's on the Everything NYJ Twitter account, as well as the Everything NYJ YouTube account, where you guys are watching this right now, most likely. So, following the Robert Saleh press conference, Joe Douglas, general manager of the New York Jets, met the media today as well. Starting off with Aaron Rodgers, Joe Douglas said that they have had very productive meetings with the Green Bay Packers. They are not where they need to be, but they feel like they're in a very good place. Joe Douglas also says that there is no hard deadline, not really a ton of urgency, but they do feel very optimistic. He's just going to let the process play out. Reiterated a couple of times that they feel really good at where they are. Um, he wouldn't get into specifics on what draft compensation or compensation in general was talked about during these meetings, but Joe Douglas is cool playing the waiting game. He's not Mike Maccagnan. He's not going to bid against himself. He realizes that the Green Bay Packers definitely are between a rock and a hard place. Just the Green Bay Packers talking about Aaron Rodgers in the past tense recently, and this could come right down to the draft. Obviously, nothing was done today. They still, well, according to Joe Douglas, they still feel like they are very far apart, which he was asked about that too and just said that, every trade is different. This scenario just happened to play out differently than traditional ones. When he flew out to California, there was rumors that the trade compensation was in place. It was just completely up to Aaron Rodgers. That has been debunked, I guess you can say, that the trade compensation is not where it needs to be. And Joe Douglas is cool playing the waiting game. The Green Bay Packers have to realize that they need to get draft compensation for Jordan Love. There's not really a situation, we all know this. This is nothing breaking news here. There's not really a situation where feasibly the Green Bay Packers could keep Aaron Rodgers on their cap and have Jordan Love figure out what he's going to be. You're not going to pay Aaron Rodgers to be a backup. Aaron Rodgers is pissed off at the Green Bay Packers. He came out publicly and said, "I want to play for the New York Jets." Joe Douglas knows this. Now he's just willing to wait. Joe Douglas offered what he offered. I don't think that he is going to move away from his offer. I don't think he's going to add anything else. I don't think that 13th overall pick is involved. He actually spoke about the 13th overall pick. Uh, Joe Douglas, obviously a build through the draft kind of guy. This whole big trade thing is very new for Joe Douglas. We haven't really seen him make any blockbuster trades since becoming the general manager of the New York Jets in 2019. After that draft season, that was a complete disaster. Um, but yeah, he values every pick, says that he views it as a great opportunity to draft a superstar player. Obviously, anytime you could draft within the top 15, the top 20, the odds of getting a superstar player are significantly high. Just use last year's draft as a perfect example. Possibly one of the best, draft classes in franchise history. But that's kind of where we are with that. It's kind of at a standstill right now. Joe Douglas does not seem to be willing to move away from what was originally offered. Now it just has to be the Green Bay Packers coming to grips that that's what they're going to have to accept. Getting into Lamar Jackson, as many of you probably already know, probably all of you know, that Lamar Jackson has requested a trade made publicly today. Joe Douglas was asked about possibly trading for Lamar Jackson, comes right out and says, "Listen, Lamar Jackson is a fantastic player, but it would be disingenuous to be talking to the Baltimore Ravens, and it would be within bad faith trying to trade for somebody like a Lamar Jackson when Aaron Rodgers is on the table. And the last thing you want is another situation like it was Aaron Rodgers versus Derek Carr. You brought Derek Carr in, said that we really like him, we view him as a Pro Bowl or MVP championship caliber player. They even said that they view Derek Carr as somebody that can lead them to the championship. Yeah, we like you, but also we like Aaron Rodgers a little bit more. You don't want to be in a bidding war between Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. It's just not good for business. And then that kind of gives the Packers some leverage. There's that word again, and it's just not a rabbit hole that the Jets need to go down. They don't need to be bidding for all these different quarterbacks. Joe Douglas did say that if a trade was to fall through between the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, they have a backup plan. If it's not going to be Lamar Jackson, I don't know who it is, to be completely honest with you. Those are easily the two best options out there. And according to Joe Douglas, the New York Jets are not even in the trading market for somebody like Lamar Jackson. Like I said, made that very clear. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Getting into a couple other things, some free agents. I guess we could start off with Elijah Moore. Says that a couple teams have called, but nothing was too serious. Cleveland was very aggressive for Elijah Moore, and they viewed it as a great opportunity to bring value and draft capital back to this team. So it was just seemed to be like it was best for all parties to move on from Elijah Moore, obviously disgruntled and yelling at Michael LaFleur just last year. uh, Joe Douglas also announced that he spoke with Odell Beckham Jr.'s agent. They've had very productive meetings and conversations, but nothing has been official yet. There's nothing on that calendar, but possibly a meeting in the future. So there's always that. He confirmed that Calais Campbell was meeting with the Jets sometime on Thursday. And just getting back to the whole OBJ thing, he's willing to add OBJ. He feels that the more weapons, the better for this team. And if you do have a special talent, somebody like an Odell Beckham Jr., you can find a way to get him the ball, obviously. There's going to be a lot of talent, a lot of mouths to feed, but just an influx of really good talent has never been a bad thing by any team. Getting onto Quentin Williams, he said that the conversations have been very productive. There's no timeline yet, but they also feel like they're in a very good time, in a very good situation with him right now. Something obviously will be getting done. You don't want to piss off Quentin Williams. You want to get that deal done. He deserves it. Homegrown talent, just improving each and every year. Finally, broke through his ceiling, and he deserves to be paid like one of the best defensive players in all of football. Getting into Ben Jones, he said nothing has been scheduled yet, but the team does have interest in him. Getting into Mekhi Becton, they're going to talk about his fifth-year option after the draft, and that pretty much sums it up. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of breaking news. It was kind of like nothing that we didn't already know. Just kind of nice to hear it out of the horse's mouth. So let me know what you guys think. Should the Jets be in the sweepstakes for Lamar Jackson? Do you guys think that they should stay away from Lamar Jackson? Obviously, he's younger. We're not sure what his contract is going to be. That's a very hefty number. Or do you want to go with the proven commodity, Aaron Rodgers? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. We'll talk Jets soon.